up, nation? Hope you're having an awesome Tuesday. My name, of course, is Philip DeFranco, and this is where I talk about news type stuff and things that matter to me today. And nation, the first thing I want to talk about today is good old pornography. You know what makes me excited about pornography, nation? Statistics, which is probably not the answer you thought. Sex porn, things that are taboo, are so interesting to me because they're things that happen behind all the niceties of life. You know that it happens, like for a kid, you know your parents had sex, you're the embodiment of that. As a parent, you know that after your kid's a certain age, they're doing other stuff. So that's why I find it interesting when places like Pornhub put up all their stats. Today what we have is a bunch of search data from 2014 that has been organized into the top searches by city. And what did they find? A lot of stuff. Massages are very popular. The search term took the top spot in 11 cities, landing in the top 5 in 22 of the 24 cities that were looked at. Overall, who was the most popular porn star? Well, Lisa Ann, which also makes sense because Mom and MILF were in the top 5 spot in many places. Also a highlight for me were the area-specific searches. In Anchorage, Alaska, the #1 search term is smoking. I like to think that it's not even the act of smoking, it's just the idea of heat being made. In Los Angeles, California, it's very telling that casting is in the top 5. San Francisco loves its Asians. Houston loves the lesbians. And Boston loves those college girls. And if you want to check out the areas near you, I have all these searches and everything in the link down below. And ultimately, what did we learn here today? Well, possibly nothing. Maybe for some of you in the nation, a sense of normalcy. For those that wanted to peek behind the curtain, maybe some knowledge. But I don't know. And from there, I want to share some stuff I love today, and Today in Awesome, sponsored by Phil.Ting.com. Ting, of course, the fantastic pay-what-you-actually-use cell service who have saved people from the nation thousands and thousands of dollars a year since they started sponsoring the show. And the big news today, on top of their recently slashed prices, awesome 4G service, 4G phones, they have now started supporting the iPhone 5. And even more awesome, they've set me up to give one of you an iPhone 5. All you have to do is go to Phil.Ting.com, use their savings calculator, come back, and in your comment, also include how much you would save if you switched to Ting. And I'll be announcing the winner on April 3rd. And in the first bit of awesome today, you may have heard the story about how 3 guys went to the top of Freedom Tower in Manhattan and jumped. And then threw out parachutes because they weren't killing themselves, they were base jumping. They filmed the whole thing. Authorities had no idea who they were until they turned themselves in. Today they finally posted the footage and it is beautiful, amazing, and terrifying. And the awesome part isn't that they broke the law, because we here at the Philip DeFranco Show would never say that is awesome, but they have promised that any ad revenue they get from the YouTube video will go to charity. Then in Nature You Scary Awesome, a guy by the name of Thomas Rogers posted a YouTube video showing a fire and rock dust devil tornado thing. And it's essentially a dust devil that crossed into a fire that continued to burn an acre of land. And in even more awesome news, it has inspired me to make a comic book about a superhero I will call Fire-nado. Then in unexpected awesome, a trailer dropped for Hercules starring The Rock. After watching the trailer, I think you could also call the movie The Rock Kills CGI Monsters the movie. And also one of my favorite things was I saw a picture of The Rock in his armor from this movie, and it may in fact be one of the only times the guy is actually more ripped in real life than the fake armor ripped muscles. That said, deep inside, I'm still kind of a bro, and I'll watch anything The Rock is in as long as it's not some stupid family movie. Then in Nostalgia Awesome, Arnold Schwarzenegger was on Jimmy Fallon, and they decided to do a sketch about QVC as a way to get Arnold to scream out old catchphrases.
And once we get that going, you're gonna really want to see.
Let's get to the chopper!
Let's get to the chopper!
And our final bit of awesome today is our lovely lady of the day, as recommended by you guys in the nation, Miss Yvonne Van, a French-Chinese model. She's relatively unknown, and if you'd like to see our lovely lady gallery of her and check more out of her, you can check her out in the links down below, along with links for everything else I talk about today. Then, in sad news that may be worse than it was previously thought, there was a terrible mudslide Saturday morning. 14 people have been killed. Several people, including an infant, were critically injured. Several houses were destroyed, and it has now come out that 176 people are missing. The county fire chief, Travis Hotz, said, "The situation is very grim. We have not found anyone alive on this pile since Saturday." The landslide completely covered Route 530. It was approximately 135 feet wide and 180 feet deep. Reportedly, there was no warning. It just happened. And on Saturday, first responders said they heard people under the rubble crying out for help, but as of Monday, those voices stopped. And it's just terrible, though. The most you can hope is that this 14 dead number does not continue to rise. And then, nation, I want to talk about racism because it's in the news news today because Nick Cannon has a new album, and the album is called White People Party Music, so obviously to promote it, he dressed in whiteface. And so people on the internet started screaming and arguing, that's racist, no it's not. And really, I'm just kind of excited that I am now finally, after all these years, part of a group that is being persecuted, not because we're persecuting other people. And here's the deal, people will have opinions on this, but as a white person, I am not offended by whiteface. Like, there was never a period of time where whiteface was used by black people to hold down the white man and make fun of him. Really, the only precedent we have for whiteface is the movie White Chicks, and that's it. So no, it's not as offensive as blackface. I am not offended. If anything, this is just a terrifying picture that will haunt my dreams forever. And really, at the end of the day, what you could maybe see as offensive is that he handles himself like every black comedian that's ever done a white person voice ever has done. Apparently, all white people like eat mayonnaise sandwiches and sound like this, bruh. I bring my taxes to an accountant. I'm bad at dancing and I love coffee. Also, my character's name is Connor Smallnut.
Connor Smallnut's the name, bro.
And so at the end of the day, is it racist? People could argue about it. Is it offensive? People could still argue about it. But what I feel is just fuck Nick Cannon. The guy's probably just so insecure about his wife being the main one in the relationship. He's like, please pay attention to me, God. And once a person has hit that level of desperation, I really can only feel pity for them. Nothing will fill that hole, especially something this ignorant and dense. It makes a Medea movie seem heady and deep. And Nation, that's actually where I'm gonna end today's show, and I'd love to know your thoughts on everything I talked about today, but it does bring us to the big question of the day. Do you find Nick Cannon's whiteface racist, offensive, stupid? I'd love to know what you think and why in the comments down below. And remember, if you want to win an iPhone 5, you know all the steps by now. Thanks again, of course, to our sponsor today, Phil.ting.com. And, of course, as always, my name's Philip DeFranco. You've just been filled in. I love yo faces, and I'll see you tomorrow.